Have you ever been at a celebration or a holiday where you feel uncomfortable?
Yeah. I mean, maybe.
I mean, no, it's never happened. Mom, are you listening?
I know. when the host is stressed out,
Yeah.
I can't enjoy myself.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people feel that way.
Welcome to The Lisa Show, where we take a good look at life. Hi, it's Lisa. I don't know about you, but I see signs everywhere that the holidays are approaching. The leaves are falling. I'm wearing sweaters and boots. The grocery store is selling turkeys and cranberries, and every TV ad now has bells playing in the background. Whether we're ready or not, the universe is telling us it's time to buckle up for some celebrating. I know that this can elicit a lot of different emotions. Anywhere from giddiness to dread. I get it. I've felt them both and everything in between, depending on the year. But most of the time, I like to think I have a knack for celebrating. I've always been a sucker for a good party. But even shindig enthusiasts like myself don't always have success in celebrating. Let me explain. I have big expectations, but I remember one Christmas years ago when I decided to have a more grown-up, memorable Christmas dinner experience. I had heard of other families doing this, and I probably saw it on a movie too, let's be honest. I wanted to create a perfect family moment that would solidify our love as a family as we ate the best food on my wedding china, something I hadn't dared do before this stage in our family, and share and grow in our love for Christ. You know, really dig into the real reason we celebrate Christmas. I thought that if I could set up the perfect moment, that perfect moment that we would always remember would happen. Well, I did my part. I created it all. The lighting, food, tablescape, linens, dishes, scents, message. We sat down and the red candles dripped hot wax on my pretty tablecloth. But, no big deal. Well, then the kids started playing with the wax. That's okay, I thought. We'll get to the message. But then the kids were laughing and looking around saying, "Why is it so dark in here? What are we doing? Why are you acting weird?" Undeterred, my husband and I started our Christmas presentation, a reading from Charles Dickens about the life of Christ. And the kids started shifting around and do what they always do. They started laughing and teasing each other. Now, I'm not proud to admit that I got really mad in this moment. I might have listed off all of the ways that I had worked really hard to create this experience that they didn't appreciate. The mom speech. Christopher tried to get stern like, listen to your mother. She worked really hard. And I kept hearing your mom. And I thought, well, I didn't want this to be about me. I wanted this to be about us and Jesus. So the kids ate the rolls. You make a fancy meal and all the kids want are the rolls. We should just always make double rolls and forget everything else. Well, we shortened our message and then it was over. Christopher told me how great it was as the kids scattered to go play video games. I never did get the candle wax out of that tablecloth either, but it's okay. Parties won't always be perfect. That's life. But when hopes and expectations are high, especially at this time of the year, it would be sure nice to know that we at least have a fighting chance of enjoying ourselves, right? As a mom, I can't tell you how much that the time I spend celebrating with my kids matters. I want it to go well. I need it to go well. That's why we're devoting 2 episodes to successful celebrations. In part 2, we're going to delve into how to simplify our celebrations without losing their joy. Today, however, we're going to talk about 6 tips for celebrating better. I brought in my friend Brittany Jepson to the show. Brittany's a creative, a mom, and an avid dress wearer. She always looks adorable. She's also the founder and CEO of The House That Lars Built, a lifestyle and design company. I'll let Brittany tell you about The House That Lars Built and what they do.
It's a design company. We show people how to make things and we share it online. Our whole goal is to encourage people to live an artful life. And we do that by making things, showing people how to do interior design, do all sorts of things that lead to an artful life.
Brittany's company is a one-stop shop for a million creative ideas, especially for the holidays. There are Halloween costume ideas, Thanksgiving pie crust designs, and even instructions for homemade advent calendars. If anyone is a celebration guru, it's Brittany. Brittany has devoted her career to helping people find joy, especially when there's any time to celebrate. And part of that is because Brittany has a deep love for traditions.
My husband isn't necessarily traditions focused, and he's always questioning, like, why do we have to do the same thing? And it's really helped me to focus on why I do love traditions. I mean, we've gone through thousands of years of people learning how to celebrate, learning how to find joy. And maybe it didn't start from, let's find joy in this. Maybe it didn't start from that, or maybe it started from the sun comes up at this time. It started very primitively, but we've worked out a lot of things over the years. And there's things we're still learning. There's things we need to discard and find ways to really celebrate the true human heart. That is why I love traditions, because we've worked out a lot of things. We look forward to a lot of things. We can find joy in a lot of things, and those things make life so worth it and valuable and meaningful.
Celebrations are meant to give us joy, but a lot of us only seem to get a whopping load of stress when it comes to celebrations. So how can we do them better? How can we make our celebrations full of joy and empty of exasperation? Well, Brittany has 6 ideas to help us have the holidays we've always wanted. First, Brittany says that with all the holidays out there, we don't need to celebrate them all. We just need to pick and choose those that matter most to us.
So my first piece of advice, and this is something that I've had to do because my initial with everything is to go big. I like to go big,
yes,
and I want it to look amazing. But I've learned, even with my job, that I can't do that because I just don't have the bandwidth. So I choose the holidays I really want to focus on. I mean,
I'm dying to know what you think. Yeah.
I love Valentine's Day. I love St. Patrick's Day. It took me years to realize not everyone celebrates St. Patrick's Day. I don't know why.
I gave that up.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Because I felt like I don't have any family connection to this. I don't really care. I don't drink. So what's the point? You know what I mean? I don't know. But I make a big deal about Valentine's Day for obvious reasons.
Right. I am Irish, so I was like, obviously, you know.
Right. Brittany celebrates St. Patrick's Day, and that's great. It matters to her, but it doesn't really matter to me, so I can take that expectation off my list. I will, however, be getting a Shamrock Shake at McDonald's. I will see you at the drive-thru. But that's about where my celebrating will end. And you know what? It's fine. Tip number 1, pick the celebrations that matter to you. Ditch the rest and enjoy a deep sigh of relief. Brittany's second tip is to remember the rules of 1.
One thing I would really establish is expectations for yourself and your family, because it's so easy to play the comparison game and to think of all the things you feel like you have to do. Oh, I have to do this huge tree for Christmas. I have to do this, but you don't have to do them. You can pick and choose what you want to do. And as long as we think, okay, I'm going to do one thing for Halloween, I'll do one thing for Thanksgiving, I'll do one for, establish what your parameters are, then it's so much easier to dig into it, not put on too much pressure onto yourself and your family, because they are also feeling the stress that comes from you being so into achieving what you feel like you need to achieve. So, for example, for Halloween, I love Halloween. In the last 3 years, we started to put these huge giant spiders on my house. And I left the command strips on my house so that I can just put them on. I can put on these huge spiders in 15 minutes every single year, but it's a one and done type of thing.
Brittany made 2 important decisions. First, she chose the holiday she cared about, in this case, Halloween, and then she picked one thing she wanted to do for it. For her, it was attaching giant arachnids to her house. And if you go to her website, you can see a picture of them. And wow, I mean, who knew one thing could pack such a punch? For me, Halloween is going to be watching The Legend of Sleepy Hollow and It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, with my kids. It doesn't matter what your one thing is. What matters is that it only takes one thing to mark the holiday and to do it joyfully. Another rule of 1 that Brittany has has is to only add one thing a year to your holiday stash, especially when it comes to collecting Christmas tree ornaments and decor.
I want the shopping experience to not be stressful, so I only do one thing a year. Mind you, it's not exactly how I want it to look because I haven't finished. But I have a beautiful tree and I have beautiful ornaments that mean something to me. And then every year I'll add something new. And that's how you make it manageable so there's no burnout, so you keep to a budget. I think there's so many ways to make it so it's a fun, meaningful experience without having to feel like you're topping yourself or other people. That just creates burnout and you're never going to want to do it again.
Tip number 2, remember the rules of one. One thing you want to do for your celebration and the one thing you'd like to purchase. One thing, no more. A good celebration shouldn't be complicated and it shouldn't break the bank. Tip number 3 is to think inside the box by using the resources you have nearby. Sometimes we're so focused on looking for bigger and better ways to celebrate that we forget that meaningful celebrations can start close to home. In fact, some of the most memorable celebrations don't come from Pinterest, but from branches and black garbage bags. I'll let Brittany explain.
I got married in September and moved to Denmark right after. And I didn't realize how much of a change that would be for me because the weather was already starting to turn. I mean, September, it was already starting to get darker. And here I was, I had just graduated. I no longer had a community. I didn't have a job. I couldn't work legally until all my paperwork went through. And so I was here and I was in this house with no one to talk to. I treated my blog as if it was a job. And the first holiday, in September is Halloween. And I thought, what can I do? So I immediately started to make Halloween decorations. And I call this the parable of the trash bag because I went foraging for branches and I spray painted them black and I took trash bags and I made birds out of trash bags and put them on all these branches. And in hindsight, they were hideous, but it was something that I had. We had no money and I was blogging about this and I made garlands out of black paper that looked like teeth and I hung them and people liked that idea. But I went with something that I knew because in Denmark, they don't celebrate Halloween. I mean, they're starting to more and more because it's a really fun holiday, but they didn't really at the time. And so I was bringing in the traditions that I knew.
Don't you love Brittany's resourcefulness? I mean, I know I wouldn't have looked at a trash bag and thought, you know what? How about some creepy birds? But that's all it took for Brittany to be able to celebrate Halloween an ocean away from home, sticks and some plastic. Brittany is back in the United States and now has a full house to keep her company. But this idea of thinking inside of the box for celebrations continues to be a golden principle for her family.
I have seen over the years people do these huge elaborate back to school dinners.
That's nice. Some families may do that. That was one intentionally that I did not pick up on because I was like, it's not Thanksgiving, guys.
It's right. To me, I remember seeing it and I see those pictures and I was like, what the what? That seems like totally overkill. But we had a really rough summer with my kids. And I really wanted to create something that would help us focus on this new year. And I was thinking about it for weeks and thinking of all those Pinterest images and oh, that would be so nice. When am I going to do that? So the day before back to school, it was 5:00. I just got out of a meeting and I was thinking, oh, I want to do back to school dinner. And here I am planning on the spot. And so we go to the grocery store and I don't cook. And I had this elaborate plan, suddenly I'm going to learn to cook, right?
Sure.
So I go
at 5:00 the night before school starts.
I want to do a dinner in an hour. So I'm going to go learn to cook right now. So we go to the market and I realize in the market, I'm not going to make anything. I don't know how to make anything. I went with the recipe, but I'm not going to make it. So I say, kids, what do you want for dinner? And so we thankfully passed by the little sushi area. And Jasper's like, Mom, I really want sushi. And I was like, bless you, child.
This is amazing. Thank you, child.
Thank you. That's like something ready-made. So we got sushi, which we don't do very often. So it was special. And then I let them pick out a cake and we brought them home and I put on a tablecloth, which we never do because I have boys and they ruin everything. But I brought it out and I put on plates we don't normally use. And so all of a sudden I was tapping into the things I already have. I put on like 10 candles on the table. And it was just like trying to make something special without it being hard for me to achieve. Yeah, and I knew I wasn't going to take an elaborate photo shoot to share. But the next day I thought about it and I did end up sharing it. I took a quick iPhone photo the night before and I ended up writing a blog post because I was like, you know what? This is real. Motherhood is.
Yep.
Motherhood is not planning for weeks. It's not creating a huge balloon arch. And guess what? My kids didn't care.
Yes, Brittany could have done a Pinterest-type back-to-school celebration for her kids. But instead, Brittany chose to think inside the box and use the resources that were close to home: a tablecloth, some candles, and pre-made food at her local grocery store. Resourcefulness is the mark of motherhood. It can also be the mark of a good celebration. I also love that Brittany let her kids have input on what they'd like for their special evening, even if it wasn't what she originally had planned. As a mom who may or may not like to maintain creative control over family gatherings, this is something I can definitely work on. Unless my kids want me to play video games with them, I'm out. I can't pretend that I think it's fun or interesting. Sorry. Tip number 3, think inside the box. Use the resources you have nearby. And if you're not sure where your tablecloths and candlesticks are, or even if you have any in the first place, no need to fear. Brittany's 4th tip takes the thought work and cupboard searching out of celebrating. And it also happens to be about boxes. Tip number 4 is to create a dedicated celebration box.
My biggest tip is to get like a plastic box or whatever type of box you have and to put things in there that you can use for anything on the fly. Because you will forget something. You will forget a birthday. You will forget something important. But guess what? Consider this emergency preparedness. Like
I love this.
Put like a box of candles, like birthday candles in there. Put a lighter in there. Put paper plates in there, cups, skewers. If you have like a thing of skewers from Amazon or something, that's all you'll need for the rest of your life. You'll always have a cake topper.
Yeah.
And a glue gun. And I end up putting in garlands that I've collected. When we were visiting Denmark, my husband's from Denmark, we were visiting there and I found like this cute garland. I have hundreds of garlands because I make them for work, but I found this one and so I keep it in my box.
Because it's your special garland.
Because it's my special garland. And so I put it up every single birthday. Do you remember those red I Am Special plates?
Yes.
It was such an 80s, 90s thing.
Yeah.
But I have like the most distinct memories of being special on my birthday because of a red plate.
Right.
And I think there's something about having something only be used for a special event, like that garland, like that red plate, where you create meaning because either you found it or you made it or you only use it for a special occasion. And so if you have those things, you can make anything happen.
I love this. It's so practical, but like, I can't believe I haven't done it.
It's changed my life, even though I have boxes and boxes in my basement. But if I have it in my pantry, listen, I can throw a party.
Tip number 4, make a celebration box. Why have I not done this? It makes so much sense. I mean, if you have a collection of supplies that make celebrating easier, you're going to use them more often, including when a special day takes you by surprise. Be sure to put things in your box that you only use for celebrations, whether that be a banner, a plate, some candles, etc. The novelty will automatically mark the occasion as a special one. And you'll come off looking like a rock star, a super prepared, fun, and thoughtful rock star who never forgets anything. As you make a celebration box a priority, Brittany suggests we make another thing a priority when it comes to celebrating. She says that this may be the simplest thing to improve our celebrations. Tip number 5 is to prioritize people, not events.
I think the simplest touches always have to do with people. And I say that as one who is really focused on the aesthetics Like, I
Right.
love to make something look good. And if it doesn't look good, to me, it's like, was it worth it? But I say that because I think of my wedding. I had just graduated from interior design school. It was really important for me. I thought, if we're going to spend money on this wedding, I want it to really be a part of my portfolio. Like this,
Yeah.
it's
has
got to
to
look
have,
good.
yeah, come on.
This is
my
before
reputation.
This is before Pinterest. This was before I had a job doing what I do. And so my mom and my sister and I, we worked so hard at making everything look so good. And you know what? It looked amazing.
I'm sure it did.
But guess what? We did not plan a program. And so we had a live band, and during the wedding, they're like, "Hey, do you want a first dance?" And I was like, "Oh yeah. Yeah, I do. Okay, thanks so much." And like there's the personal factor that we did not put into this special evening. I found out after the fact that my dad had written a speech, but he didn't give it because we didn't plan it.
Oh.
So to this day, I'm like, what was in that speech? And it breaks my heart that we didn't plan the human closeness factors. Like sometimes it's just a matter of saying something or planning something or including somebody. Maybe you could bring in somebody who doesn't have a place for Thanksgiving. And I have this wonderful next door neighbor who we love so much. She's 90 and she's just like the best. And maybe it's inviting her to a birthday, So I think those are some of the simple things we can do to make it really shine and make it memorable.
Tip number 5, focus on the people. It's the people that matter most, not the food, not the decor, not the activities. When you have the people factor figured out, you're already on the expressway to a successful celebration. Unfortunately, one people factor that we often overlook is how we show up as hosts. As hosts, we're the barometer for a party. If we want our guests to feel comfortable, then we have to feel comfortable.
Have you ever been at a celebration or a holiday where you feel uncomfortable?
Yeah. I mean, maybe.
I mean, no, it's never happened. Mom, are you listening?
I know. when the host is stressed out,
Yeah.
I can't enjoy myself.
Yeah.
I feel like I am the guest then that needs to fix it. I don't know
Yes.
why I'm like this, but
Yeah. And I think a lot of people feel that way. You don't want to see someone rushing around and like, oh, it has to be perfect. Like I remember going to a cousin's house and as soon as we were done with the dinner, they were cleaning and it was like, oh, I guess maybe we need
I
to be out of
know,
here.
and I just want to sit and talk. And
Yeah. You want to.
But you follow the lead of the host.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Your guests will follow your lead. So as you consider what will help others enjoy the celebration, don't forget to consider what will help you enjoy the celebration too. One of the things that is guaranteed to benefit our experience as hosts is to relinquish our death grip on expectations. That is Brittany's 6th tip. Prepare and then let go. Isn't it great when things go as planned? Yes. But the truth is, things rarely do. But that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. According to Brittany, a good host can plan a great party and let things take their own course. She saw this happen at Thanksgiving.
For work, we created this Thanksgiving parade table scene. Macy's, they have their Thanksgiving parade. So we illustrated like the New York skyline and you can print it off and you can put it on your table and then add balloons, like a little Snoopy
cute.
balloon. So it's really cute. This has become like a really big idea for people and people buy this printable and they make it every year. And I've never been able to do it personally because we're always at my parents' house and I've like never done it. But one year, this was a couple years ago, I brought these blow up foil balloons and we had Frozen and we had Toy Story, like these huge balloons. And we blew them all up for all the kids in my family are like 6 and under. So everyone got a huge balloon. We read a book called Balloons Over Broadway, which is about the guy who started the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade. So we read that and then we played the music and we ran around my parents' house. We made our own parade.
That is so
And
cute.
it was so fun. It was so fun for me to see that they actually liked doing it. There's a point where you create it and then you have to let it happen.
Mm-hmm.
You can't force it to happen because that's when the awkward uncomfortableness comes in. And so seeing that they were having fun was something that I had planned was like the ultimate like chef's kiss,
Oh, yeah.
like let it happen. And if it's not, just you have to be okay with it going not okay.
Yeah, be okay with it not going okay.
Yeah.
And that helps you enjoy it as a host and as a guest, I think.
Like when you plan, you plan so much and you want it to just be so okay, but there's got to be a point where you release and admit like it's not going to go perfectly every time.
Tip number 6, let go of expectations. Do what you can to prepare for the event, but then let your guests enjoy themselves without a chokehold on the outcome. And do whatever you need so that you can enjoy and savor the moment with your guests. Now, I just want to point out some of Brittany's tips in action here. First, Brittany thought about the people at Thanksgiving more than the decor. She could have arranged to do her famous parade centerpiece, but what she chose to prioritize were the kids. Then she thought inside the box by doing what was readily available and easily doable. So she brought some balloons and a book to create her own parade experience, nothing super complicated. And then, hoping the kids would have fun, she relinquished control and let the parade happen. And here's the best part. In letting go, Brittany discovered that the kids not only had fun, but they probably had even more fun than if she had tried to orchestrate everything about the parade. Having a perfect celebration is less about everything going to plan and more about everything going to people. As we head into this time of year where there are some pretty big celebrations, I'm so grateful to Brittany for sharing ideas on how to be better at the art of celebrating. First, choose only the celebrations that matter to you. You don't have to do them all. Second, remember the rules of one. Only do one thing for your celebration. It can be as simple as putting spiders on your house. And if you choose to expand your traditions, only add one thing a year, whether that be a purchase or an activity. Don't burn yourself and your bank account out. Third, think inside the box. Be resourceful with what is easily accessible or on hand. Fourth, make your life easier with a celebration box. Keep special and practical things nearby for quick, easy, and memorable celebrations. Fifth, make your focus the people at the celebration, not the other stuff. And sixth, do what it takes for you as a host to actually enjoy the celebration, even if that means letting go of some expectations. These are such great ideas, and there's a lot of wisdom in all of them. But Brittany also said something that I think perfectly frames why celebrations are so important in the first place.
I find so much value and joy in celebrating. And each holiday is so different. I find the purpose of varied holidays is that we can find value in so many different things and so many different cultures, and celebrating those cultures with the people who find those meaningful. I think it's such a great way to remember that we are all brothers and sisters.
We're all brothers and sisters. We find meaning in traditions, and we have so much good to share with one another. God has given us a beautiful world to celebrate, so let's celebrate it, and let's do it better.
The Lisa Show is a production of BYU Radio, hosted by Lisa Valentine Clark. This episode was produced by Erica Price with help from Kenny Mears and Blake Morse, with post-production by Kit Merrill. For more information on our guest, Brittany Jepson, links to her work will be in our show notes. If you haven't subscribed to The Lisa Show on YouTube, you can find even more content on our channel, including the Council of Moms, filmed live in our studio. As always, thanks for your messages. We read them all, and thanks for listening.